Hey guys, Catherine here, filling another hummingbird with resin, and trying a different way of getting these Sculpey bezels to seal to the tape securely. The resin seal put on the one side for the last one that we didn't turn out very well, didn't end up sealing it super well. It'll still work out, it'll still be a good hummingbird, but I was getting a little bit of leaking underneath, so I decided to try something else. I think the problem is that they aren't turning out entirely flat when I'm baking them. Which makes sense. The baking pan that I'm putting them in has ridges on the bottom. So what I've gone ahead and done for this hummingbird bezel is I sanded the back flat with 100 Grit sandpaper. I just put some sandpaper down on my work surface, turned it over, and sanded the hummingbird around until the back was entirely level. And I think that's going to solve the problem. We shall have to try pouring resin in it though and see. And it didn't ruin the other ones. It's done it on every single one of these that I've done so far, and it hasn't ruined any of them. But I would like it to not be a thing that happens, because good enough isn't really good enough. I want it to be better. Go. All right, and just as with the last one, I'm going to use a little bit of extra tape to cover the back because one piece can't quite get it all the way. There we go, and then press it on good and secure, and yeah, already I can tell this is sealing on much more nicely than the previous one did. So I think I'm probably going to abandon that putting resin on it before putting the tape on it process altogether. Go. Go. All right, there we are. And I think this one, I want to set beads into the resin for it. I really liked it the last time I tried it with the honey bees, and I think it'll turn out well for the hummingbird as well, because it'll give us nice bright colors. But I do think I want to use less beads. I tried shoving quite a bit of beads into that honey bee's body the last time, and it ended up very full, and I don't think it needs to be. I think fewer beads means you can see the beads that are there better. Here we go. So I'm just going to lay down a base of resin, and it's quite full already, so I don't think I'm going to fill it all the way, or I may not even put any more in this large section, because once I've got beads in there, that'll increase the volume that the resin is taking up. It doesn't change the mass of it at all, but it does change the amount of space that is needed to contain it. There we go. And I can always add more on top afterward, but it's much more difficult to take it out. And then just drizzle lightly. And do the same thing for the tail. And yes, I can already tell this sanding technique is probably going to be the one that I go with from here on out, because it seems to be holding up really well. I'm liking this so far. Okay, so set my resin aside and grab some of my beads, and I think just like last time I want to do a red collar, so I'll use some red beads, and I want to use some green beads, and these beads are actually a sort of shiny green blue mix, which is kind of cool, and I think will turn out really well for this. And then I think I want to use some like iridescent blue purple beads. I think that'll turn out nicely too. And I will pull out a couple black beads because I would like to give this hummingbird an eye. Here we go. I need to clear out the toothpicks from last hummingbird and grab more toothpicks for this hummingbird. There we go. And I think like last time, I'm going to start with the red collar. So I'm going to see if I can't just lightly tap some red beads into here and then move them around. And like I said, for this, I think I'm going with the theory that less is more. So I'm not going to be trying to overcrowd. Oh yeah, I like that much better. Just a couple red ones. Give it some color. Go. And I think that might even be just all the red beads we want. Maybe one or two more. See, I'll fall into that trap where I'm like, well, I want some more, and then just keep adding until I have too many. Go. Okay. There we are. That is going to be all the red that I want on him. And I like how many red beads that is. That works. Then I want to do maybe even just one black bead. Whoop! That turned out to be a lot. That's okay. I'll just put it up and set it in. And yeah, just one, I think, is more than enough. I'm going to have to clear all these back off and into the bottle. That might take a bit of skill, at least more skill than I'm going to be putting into it, and in the absence of skill, more time than I'm going to take during this video to put beads back into a bottle. But he has a black eye. And then I think I want to make him mostly green. So the next color I'm going to do is blue, and I'm going to, I think, start by just giving him a blue cap. I think that's what I want for the blue on him, is pretty much just going to be like a cap. There we go. There we are. And then the rest in green. Alright, so green over the face and kind of just spread them out while trying not to knock around the rest of the beads. Oh yeah, that green's going to be a lovely color. I like that a lot. And sprinkle it into the wings and try not to just get it all over the place. That's going to be too many. Some of those should come out. There we go. That's the right number. And pick up the beads that ended up on the tape if I can. There we go. I'm just sticking my toothpick down the center of these little seed beads and lifting them up off the tape that way, because the tape does kind of want to grab onto them. But I still don't notice any leaking at all from underneath here. So I think sanding the bottom side down is the winner as far as techniques go to prevent the resin from leaking on these Sculpey bezels. So that's probably going to be what we end up doing. And then, well, that's probably going to be what I end up doing in the future. Go. And then I think I want to bunch them all real tight down here in the tail. And then have them be less and less as they go to the top. Ooh, that might be too many. That's okay. We will see how it works out. Maybe it won't be bad. Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to end up being bad per se. Just a lot more beads than I intended, but that's okay. It'll work out. And actually, that might be about how many I would have ended up with anyway. That is almost exactly what I was really going for with that more at the bottom, less at the top theory. Oh, and it stuck to my finger. There we go. Okay, and then I do think I am going to grab some more blue. I think I want some blue in the tail. Yeah, I want the tail to be blue. I want it to contrast with the rest of the body. And this, I think, is turning out really nicely. I do like this setting seed beads in resin thing that I've done for the last two. I might keep doing this for future pendants and things as well, because this is turning out quite nicely. There we are, and then I think I'll just smooth it over the top and out to the edges, and I am going to need to fill it up with a little bit more resin. Now that I've got the beads in the way that I like it, I can fill it up with resin for the rest of the way, and it'll end up having the right amount. So grab back up my resin again, and drip, drip, drop some more in. Go. And that's mounding up pretty nicely. I do think I want to draw it out to the edges all the way around. So I'm going to just take my toothpick and run it along it so that it brings the resin to the edge, and then I'll push it back into the center just so that it'll self-level itself all the way around and to the edge, but not any further. Go. Not too much resin along here. Don't want to flood it down the sides. But yes, I really like how this one turned out. I mean, I'll have to wait until it sets to actually see the finished copy, but I am liking how it's looking so far anyway. Let's see if we can't give you a closer view. Not really. That's not particularly good. Well, I'll make the thumbnail the picture so that you'll be able to see it. But I am really enjoying how that has turned out. I think it looks very nice. And that is it for this hummingbird anyway. I will see you guys later when I do something else. I don't know what I'm going to be doing next, but I look forward to it, whatever it is. Thank you for watching, and if you have any ideas of what I should do next, I'd be happy to hear them, so I would welcome a comment below letting me know what you think I should be doing. And have a nice day. Bye.